Good evening, my movie girls. Today is day 21 of the Halloween countdown, 31 films in 31 days. And this evening we watched Cabin in the Woods.
So, Cabin in the Woods, written by Joss Whedon, I think Drew Goddard as well. Drew Goddard directed it. They were colleagues on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, and I think if you've seen this film, you could easily put this within the same world universe as the Buffyverse, couldn't you? Because it just
screams Buffy.
It does. it plays on that perfectly. It's almost season 4 of Buffy with the initiative under Sunnydale and monsters galore. So what's the story?
Story is a bunch of college kids, but come from the Luke Perry School of College Kids.
I'm 12. I was going to say 12. I don't know. 12.
Yeah, they all look very... Must be mature students,
Yeah.
I'd say. They go off, there's like a group of 5 friends, and they go in a camper van and go up to, I think he said it's his cousin's cabin in the woods that he's
just bought.
So they're gonna have like a weekend there. And there's a couple, Chris Hemsworth plays like the jock, but he's actually quite clever. He's like on a full scholarship.
Yeah. His
girlfriend, who they kind of make out to be a slutty one, but she isn't at all.
But she just dyed her hair blonde.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. And there's like the virginal one but she wasn't a virgin, but she was quite a nice girl, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was like sensible girl.
Hang on. She was the survivor girl, if you watched our movie the other night.
Yeah, she's the survivor girl. There's the clever guy who they're all actually really nice out there. There's nothing you won't pick him out and go, he's an absolute div. And then even the stoner, he's brilliant. He'd crack me up. I've been sat up with him having a right crack all night.
Yeah.
So these 5 group of friends go off to the woods. They drive up, and it's a bit like Friday the 13th. They stop out for gas on the way, and there's the creepy old store owner who sort of fills the petrol up, but has a go at them as well. Calls Thor's girlfriend a slut and stuff.
You got enough fuel to get there, but you ain't got enough fuel to get back, and that's
your worry.
Yeah.
So then the plot unfolds. They drive up to this cabin in the woods. It's actually quite a nice cat. It looks crap from outside, but it's all right inside. It's not lovely, but it's okay. And then they sort of start having a drink, but then
at the same time,
there's all this plot unfolding, and it's like 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
And even before they set off, it's like the cuckoos have left the nest.
Yeah.
And there's like all these people involved in a massive project watching them. The house is completely rigged, so it's a bit like Big Brother. There's cameras everywhere, but you can't see them, like hidden cameras and mics. And it's basically all these underworld technicians who are watching everything. It's like a studio program, and they've got bets on. They seem quite nice. They've got a nice crack at work.
It seems like a really nice place to work.
Yeah, everyone
until
gets
the
on
end
quite
anyway.
well. And they're basically appeasing the old gods. You think at first it's just a devil or something, and it's not like you've got to keep them happy.
Yeah.
And it's quite tongue in cheek.
It is, yeah. It's very Joss Whedon.
They go down to the basement, don't they? So they're all sort of. I can't remember. They're like dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
With the beer, and then the basement door unfolds. So they all sort of go down, and there's all these trinkets and articles, and just like really old.
Sort of become enticed by different things.
And they're all sort of playing with one thing. Then the lass is like, "Hang on, guys, listen to this." And she starts reading from a diary about a family that lived there that was infected,
cannibals and all that, wasn't it?
Yeah, and everything obviously in the room is like a cursed object. So whatever they touch, or they then create the monster that comes for them, and it's a zombie redneck family.
But at the same time, as soon as they get summoned, the office people...
It cuts back to the technical lab.
who have had a sweepstake in which monsters are going to be summoned. And they're like, it's the monster redneck family or zombie redneck family. And someone comes up and says, I had zombies. No, you had zombies, but not these zombies.
Yeah, it's just very, like I said, tongue-in-cheek, isn't it? And then the plot unfolds. It goes back to them in the cabin in the woods, and they keep sort of putting different like gases in, don't they? So like...
to manipulate the moods.
The one who's meant to be the slutty girl is like dancing all like gyrating, and they're all a bit, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's like this is out of character for her. I've seen her drunk and all that sort of...
the only one who really sort of latches on is the stoner.
It's the stoner.
And he's going, nobody's acting like they normally act. And they're like, oh, they're just drunk. Like, I've seen them drunk, they don't do that. It's like, why is he acting like a jock? He's like, he's not a jock.
He's not the alpha male. He's not that type.
He's on a full scholarship. He's dead intelligent. He's just called his mate an egghead. And that was, it's funny in that the sort of the two who are a couple go off into the woods, and like they're like bringing all these pheromones out of the mist and stuff.
Yeah, because he's got taken her out to have sex, and then she turns away, and then it cuts back to the office, and all the men that are in the office watching the big screens, and it's like, and then he's shove them out and then release the pheromones, and then they start
getting it on,
and then they attack.
Yeah, and then the zombies attack, and then it sort of goes from there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's completely mental, to be honest. It goes from one thing to another. It seems like it's just a normal cabin in the woods film, but it's not.
It takes on a load of personas, doesn't it, really? It does. It's like, there's the cabin in the woods element, the slashers with the people, the people coming back from the dead. Zombies, living dead, and then you've got the whole underworld of these corporate people planning all this stuff, and then there's a hell thing going on. So there's just loads. It's like a mishmash, isn't it?
Yeah.
And because the virgin has to die last, or she might survive. Yeah. But then the fool survives, and he climbs in through one of the thingies, and you think he's dead, and he climbs in, and he's survived by going into one of the burial sites. Yeah. And as he goes through, he's into a technical room, so he's messing about with all the wiring, which stops all the thing from blowing up where they try to get out. And he helps her, doesn't he? Chris Hemsworth meets his death,
there's a force field.
Yeah, he's trying to evil Knievel it over a little
ravine. The little ravine, it's massive. You see how far he falls.
Yeah.
He goes down for ages.
Yeah, but the jump, doesn't look that big.
He says that he's done bigger jumps than that.
Yeah, but then obviously they've got this force field, so he dies in that. The egghead guy dies, he gets stabbed through the head, and that leaves the virgin on, so they thought, and then Phil comes back. But he's a brilliant character, I think.
He is. When the people in the office think that they've won because the virgin's left, the stoner guy was dragged into a grave, and you think he's dead. They're celebrating downstairs, and you can see on the big screens that she's being tortured, beaten to death. She's throwing up blood and everything. And they get a phone call on the big red phone, and it turns out it's upstairs or downstairs, I can't remember. Saying that something's gone wrong, and then you find out that he survived.
He survived, and then they make their way back, don't they? They go in through this thing where he'd got in and survived, and they go down in a lift, and it kind of is just like all the things, nightmares, all these boxes. It sort of pans out there. Just keep seeing individual like rooms or boxes with these like horrific things like Hellraiser and
sort of Hellraiser
girls with alien mouths and twins and clowns.
There's a big tarantula as well.
All those things are there, like whatever they depict in that room, they would have wanted to come up to see them. They then make their way out, don't they?
Yeah. But they get out because there's one person who is ready to kill the guy, but because he had destroyed one of the zombies, its hand was left, and it distracts the guy with a gun, and they get out, and then they're in this lift area where they've just got out of, and then there's a SWAT team, and then they purge the system.
Yeah, and
so
it basically lets
everything comes out.
So it totally overruns. Everybody dies, including the dude who wanted to see a
Yeah,
merman.
he mentions he wants to see a merman.
He's just like, oh, come on.
Come on.
It's very Buffy. I'm an average Buffy fan when I was younger. I used to love it. And it is very Buffy.
Yeah.
And Sigourney Weaver makes
a cameo.
Yeah. And they're like, either you two die, he's got to die. And they appease these, the massive gods that used to rule.
One person in the world again.
And they're like, you think she's going to shoot him, and then she doesn't. She gets attacked by a
werewolf.
And then the zombie axe killer from the original Cabin in the Wood bit comes down, tries to kill him, gets Sigourney Weaver, and he kind of pushes them both over.
Oh, yeah.
And then it all just starts to fall apart, and there's also he writes up a fag, doesn't he? Like a doobie, and then they just have a talk on that. And
like,
oh well.
Oh, I wish we'd have seen these giant gods.
And then it all collapses in, and it's like a massive hand comes out. It's only the second time I've seen it.
Yeah, and the first time you hated it.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I did enjoy it one time. I don't know if it's grown on me or.
Well, you seem like you didn't know.
I can't remember
it. Yeah.
I've got 3 kids now. I don't remember a lot of stuff.
I've got those same 3 kids.
Yeah, but it's different.
I suppose I remember everything else, but
the important stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because this is, I think, the 3rd film where we've dealt with deconstructing horror movies, and this is taken down to all the symptoms, everything that makes up a horror film. So like you say, you've got all these 5 characters that fit into these, or they're trying to fit them into these columns just to appease these gods. And there's, I'd love to see, because what they have a video link with Japan, and they're going through the same sort of thing, and it's
Japan, Madrid, all over the world.
Yeah.
And everywhere's failing, everywhere's beating these pictures, all these little kids, like 9-year-old girls, screaming.
They're screaming at one point.
The ring or whatever the thing is floating in the air going, and all these little kids are screaming at the windows banging, and then it cuts back to them later, and all these little kids are in a circle holding hands, sing the song, and they made it into a frog.
I'd love to have seen what the UK one was. Yeah. What would we have had?
God knows.
Jack the Ripper or something.
Yeah, probably something like that. But no, it's really
good.
Different. It's really clever. Again, it's not really scary. It starts off like creepy-ish,
but there's always that sense of there's something else going on, because there's a guy with a gun and binoculars on top of the roof watching them go.
Yeah.
And then it's interweaved with this.
I didn't know whether it was going to be like a snuff movie. I think the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, it's going to be a snuff movie or something, because they proper creeped me out. But no, I did enjoy it. I have to say, Chris Hemsworth is good in it. I don't particularly, and controversially, rate him as an actor. I think he's a bit of a one-trick pony. I think he's very handsome, and I think he can act. I just don't think he can act.
Well, I think
as much as he's paid for.
His acting in this was, say, a lot better than his acting in the recent Men in Black one, and he seems to be doing the same thing now, since he's realised that the comedy aspect of Thor is where it's popular.
Yeah.
So he just seems to be going for that role now.
I told you, I watched an interview with him. I think I watched it, or I can't remember if I read it. And it was said he actually almost gave up. He was suffering from depression. He was living on his own in LA, and he tried so many times to sort of break America, because he'd been successful in Home and Away. And he was at the point just before he got the role where he was going to go back to Australia and kind of ask for his job back at Home and Away. So I'm pretty certain he's probably glad he didn't. And I think he was talking about in terms of like depression and stuff, and how difficult it is as a bloke to kind of, always try and stay positive and not be open with your friends and stuff. So yeah, that's quite a nice little story, really. But it was filmed, wasn't it, in 2009?
2009.
I think it's meant to be released in 2010. It got shelved.
Yeah.
So it didn't actually come out until 2012. So a few years later.
I think it came out.
I think he'd already been in popular things.
Well, after that, I think he was in Thor, and then 2012, Avengers came out. And I'm pretty sure Avengers came out before it, or maybe this came out just before Avengers was released, because I reckon they sort of tied it in with that, and Joss Whedon directed Avengers as well. So
Right.
you got 2 films there that have links.
Yeah.
But no,
But even the acting I thought was pretty good.
It was,
Nobody was rubbish or anything in it.
No.
I mean, the Stoner dude just cracked me up. I think he was the best thing in it.
It was.
Personally.
And there's a theory, I think, out there that suggests that he might actually have been the Virgin.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
But I don't know. Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed this.
Let me guess.
What?
You're going to give it 4.
I was going to give it 4.5.
Whoa! Is that your biggest?
Yeah. I think it's probably the most I've enjoyed a film.
Huh.
And considering when I first watched it, I was a bit like, oh, that's stupid. I think because I've watched it again and appreciate it a little bit more. Because I'm a bit like that sometimes. I'll swing. Not that way.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But yeah, I think I'm going to give it 4.5 because I think I enjoyed that more than I have other things.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit of a piss take of itself as well, I think. And I do enjoy stuff like that. And Buffy and Angel fan. So yeah, I did enjoy it.
I'm going to give it 4. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to go back to it. I went back to it for this, but I did enjoy it. But it's rewatchability. You can, but it's not.
I wouldn't, but not for a while.
But still, it gets a 4.
Yeah.
4 ghouls. Anyway, I think that's it. Tomorrow night I know what we're doing tomorrow night. Can you believe it? Tomorrow night we are doing Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness. Groovy.
Can I be ill again?
No.
I miss it.
No, because I might dress up as Ash.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. Let us know what you thought of Cabin in the Woods. And we will see you tomorrow night. Now where's my boomstick?
Groovy.